Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for the final match of the pool stages in the Rugby League World Cup. This is a big game. Papua New Guinea going to be taking on Wales. Now, the thing is, unless Papua New Guinea somehow lose this game by about 40 points, they are through to the quarterfinals and they will be taking on the English, what should be a very exciting quarterfinal matchup. But they want to build some form heading into that match. They've certainly got the talent in their squad. Seemed like maybe Justin Alam after that last game could have been missing due to injury, but he is still there, ready to go alongside a very strong Papua New Guinea and backline for the Kumuls, and they will be hoping to get themselves a nice big win over the Welsh heading into the next match. We will quickly get the lineups for you guys so you can see exactly who is in the lineup. We're going to go up with the camera a little bit. For some reason, it's gone down. I have no idea why. But we will be looking through a little bit of information before we get too far into this match. First of all, we can see that it's raining. Unfortunately, another game in this Rugby League World Cup affected by rain, but it shouldn't be too bad. Hopefully the players won't affect them too much and they will still be able to have a very good game. But first of all, looking through at the Papua New Guinean side that they have gone with, it will be Johnson at the back. He has been very impressive throughout this Rugby League World Cup. The thing is, he hasn't done anything flashy, but he's done everything he's needed to for Papua New Guinea. Then it is going to be Nutlick at number 19 for this game. McDonald, Justin Alam, like I mentioned. Roderick Tai, he's been very good over the last little while. Labour, he had a tremendous game last week. And Lachlan Lamb at number 7. Then in the forwards, it's going to be Wellington Albert, Apape, Wayne, Nixon Putt, Reese Martin, and Jacob Alec. That is the starting lineup that PNG have gone with. Looking through at the Welsh lineup, they are going to be as follows. Aikens at the back with Reece Williams, Will Evans, Elliot Kerr, also Kyle Evans. He had the best game I think any Welsh player has had in a World Cup ever last week. He was absolutely everywhere. They still lost, but he still did very well for his side, and hopefully he can have a great game in this matchup as well. Ollie Olds is in that starting lineup, and Josh Ralph there at number 7. Then the forwards, Anthony Walker, Fozar, Binion, Rodri Lloyd, Entrabus, and Joe Burke as the last man in that starting lineup. But looking through at the chat, we have got there, it's the 31st in Ireland and England, I promise. The match is in 5 minutes. I am watching it. Says Richard there, and welcome to the future. Says Nate. As I hope you are doing well, everyone in the chat. Do let me know who you think will be winning this game. Will it be a PNG win or will it be an upset loss for Papua New Guinea? Now, the thing is, like I mentioned, unless something drastic happens here, Papua New Guinea are still through to the quarterfinal, but they would love to be able to have a win under their belt before heading into their next matchup. As we look through at the way that the tables are sitting, first of all, for the first two pools, we already know that it will be England and Samoa making their way through to the quarterfinals. Same can be said about Australia and Fiji. Then we look, though, at this side of the draw, which we are going to be watching the game for today. It is going to be New Zealand and Lebanon in Group C. And then in Group D, as you can see, Tonga have secured their spot. The question mark is still here. But the thing is, Wales, like I mentioned, they need to win this game by 42 points. That doesn't seem possible for me. Yes, Wales have had a pretty good Rugby League World Cup. Doesn't say it there because they don't have any points, but they've been close in a couple of their games. And I think it's going to be one of those ones that Papua New Guinea, they could definitely find themselves on 4 points at the end of this game, ramping it up big time and trying to build that momentum, like I mentioned, heading into their quarter-final fixture, which is just around the corner. As you can see here, this is the draw for the quarterfinals. We already know that it will be Australia versus Lebanon. That will be Saturday, 8:30 a.m. New Zealand time, and that's going to be a very exciting game. Then England, they will face the winner of this game. Not really, kind of. Depends on who wins. It's Papua New Guinea. We will just say for argument's sake, at this stage, that's going to be the Sunday game at 3:30 a.m. Sunday, 8:30 a.m. will be New Zealand versus Fiji. And then on Monday, the Pacific Island battle between Tonga and Samoa. That is a game that certainly will get people excited, and we cannot wait to cover it on the channel as well. Looking at the way that these two sides have progressed throughout their Rugby League World Cup, before we get into the match, currently the Welsh national anthem is being played at the ground, but Papua New Guinea, the narrow loss to Tonga, that was a confidence builder for them, but sadly, they weren't quite able to get the job done. 24 points to 18, still a tremendous performance from the Kumuls. And then on their next game over the Cook Islands, winning at 32 points to 16. So you'd have to say they haven't really had a bad game in this Rugby League World Cup yet. Could this one be the one that's a little bit rusty to then build them even better for their quarterfinal up against England, because in that game, they're going to have to be on their absolute A game. We have already seen England put on about 200 points in this Rugby League World Cup from just 3 games, which is something that is extremely impressive. Looking through at Wales, they had that narrow loss to the Cook Islands, 18 points to 12. So actually, both games for their first matches, you can't see my finger, there it is. Both first matches for these sides were relatively close, but they both came out as the losers of those contests. Then Tonga versus Wales, it was a little bit more one-sided. Wales actually scoring the first try in their matchup against Tonga, but in the end, 32 points to 6 in favour of the Tongans there. Good morning, Amish. I hope you're doing well. I am indeed. I'm so excited for this game because, for one, Papua New Guinea, I love watching them play. They play with passion, they play with heart, and they play with a massive amount of power, which is something that I think is one of their keys to be able to beat England. Now, they'll come in as about $51 underdogs in that game up against England, but they will not give up. They won't back down, and the Kumuls will be coming for a Rugby League World Cup quarterfinal, and then the semi after that. It's going to be tough, but that is why Papua New Guinea are in the World Cup. They're there to play everyone who is the best. They're going to be trying to take down the favourites. Of course, Wales, not the favourite for this matchup, though. Papua New Guinea close at quite the hefty favourite for this matchup. I'm currently listening to the Papua New Guinea national anthem. Then we'll be straight into the match. Ladies and gentlemen, do let me know who you think will be able to win this match, and also who is going to be the first try scorer. I have been shocking when it comes to my try scorer predictions for this Rugby League World Cup, but this time I am going to say it's Roderick Tai who scores the first try of this match. It's pretty much anyone who I don't choose does. So last time I picked Alex Johnston. He didn't manage to get himself the try, but this time, because I picked Roderick Tai, Alex Johnston's probably going to be the first try scorer of this contest. But nonetheless, national anthems have been sung, which means now we are close to crunch time, which is going to be when these two sides just absolutely demolish each other out there on the park. It's in Doncaster. It looks like a rainy night, but it's going to still be a very entertaining game of rugby league. Did you get any sleep, my guy? I did indeed. I managed to get about 6.5 hours, which is pretty impressive for me, because I did end up sleeping last night so that I could wake up today. We've got the live stream, and then we're going straight to work after this matchup at around 10:30, where we are going to be loading up a tip truck with a whole heap of scrap. So that's going to be fun. And by scrap, I mean someone's kitchen, because Dad has done the demolition job. He's paid to. I should clarify. He hasn't just gone around and found some random person's kitchen. But Elliot Kerr in charge of the Welsh side here, the captain, John Kerr, the head coach, and both will be wanting to see a good performance from Wales. Reverse psychology and typos as well, says Nuzzy Williams. And there as well. The interchange players, though, I should mention, Tenza is there. Also Dan Russell for Papua New Guinea, Tanumbi, and also Simbikin and Ziv John, I should say, for Papua New Guinea. Then Fleming, Butler, Davies, and Mike Butt is there for Wales. But do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, like I mentioned, who's going to be the first try scorer in this matchup. I have gone with Roderick Tai. I'm hoping I'm correct, but I'm probably not going to be. And greetings, Kiwi lads and rugby aliens from nighttime in Cape Town. I've got my gin and orange. Thanks, Hamish. I'm going to be shouting for Papua New Guinea. Hopefully you had a great Halloween, says Roof. I did indeed, although I guess my Halloween came a little early. Did end up celebrating it on the 30th rather than the 31st, as we did for the live streams throughout the night, but it was still very good. I went to a Halloween party, which was really weird because I don't normally leave the house. Oh, Carl Evans' girlfriend, I believe they are showing at the moment by the sounds of it from the commentators. There we go. Right, we are ready to rumble in this matchup. Papua New Guinea versus Wales. The winner, I guess, builds a little bit of confidence. Even if Wales win this game, though, by 40 points, they will not go through to the quarterfinals. Papua New Guinea, it's their spot to lose, and they want to make sure they build up some brilliant momentum heading into the big matchup against the home side, England. It's not going to be easy, but Papua New Guinea love a challenge, and they are just about to kick this game off. They will be going from right to left in this contest at Eco Power Stadium in Doncaster. Kicked off long, Wales take it, and Kyle Evans, I believe he's going to be one to definitely watch out for in this game, because he played brilliantly in the last matchup. It was a shame that his side weren't all able to play as well as he did. But Anthony Walker, also a big man to watch out for, the bulldozer. They described him as a barrel in the last match, and the thing is, that description is not too far off He's a tank of an individual and will always throw himself at the line. Antrobus there with the carry for Wales, sitting about 40 metres out from their own line. Nice run, almost drops the ball. He does, but it goes backwards, although they've called it as a knock-on. So Papua New Guinea getting the early momentum after putting the pressure on at tackle time. And also we have got that Elderberth has said it will be a match in there as well. Yeah, it's going to be an absolutely awesome, hard-hitting affair. The rain is pouring down. It was a good low shot from Labour, and then a lot of extra pressure there in the breakdown from Papua New Guinea to be able to cause the handling error on Welsh boys. And there's going to be a hard game. I hope you're up for it. There's going to be big hits and lots of running. And the thing is, in the last couple games that we've covered on the channel, they have been extremely one-sided affairs. So the question is, will this one also end up having that same description? Currently 30 metres out the Kumuls in possession after only 1 minute 16 of this match. Go the Kumuls, says Caius there. Now going across to the right-hand side. Going to be the short ball from Lachlan Lamb straight into the hands of Wayne. Moves up to 20 metres out from the line. Now Wales' defence in their game up against Tonga for a start, it was very strong, but then it started going downhill in the second half when fatigue started kicking in. Wellington Albert finds a beautiful offload there with 3 players lured in a puppy. Now only 5 metres out. And it seems like already Papua New Guinea have found themselves in second gear. Can they find third and get themselves over the try line? It's going to be back across Labour. Now one more. Johnston. Ball on the outside to McDonald. Little mistake out on the wing. Not really leaving enough space for Nudlick to be able to do too much other than just watch that one go into touch. And also PNG full support, says Ramsey there, and the Kumuls will win, says Elderberth, and 28-4 the scoreline for Peter Mason in this game. And yeah, I think Papua New Guinea, they're going to find themselves with a good points differential heading into their next one. They should definitely be in the pluses, that is for sure. But Anthony Walker going to be now rolling the ball back for Wales. They're only about 10 metres out from their own line at the moment. In fact, make that 20. Nice run from was Will Evans. Going off to the left-hand side. Papua New Guinea's defence, though, this is where it's going to be tested because we want to see them doing well in this game so that they can go into their next game up against England and have a real shot of being able to cause that upset. 3 minutes in at the moment, another run. Rhys Williams this time. We hardly saw him with the ball in the last match of the Rugby League World Cup. Now driving forward nicely up to the halfway line for Wales on their third tackle. And also 20-16 PNG. And also, Papua New Guinea will win 30 points to 15, says Kevin. And there as well, Lloyd charges forward. One moment, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, hay fever. It's going to be kicking in nicely this morning, but we should be all right. Throughout it all, a little bit of a slip there. Unfortunately, Wales, they have been able to push Papua New Guinea into their own 22 or so. Of course, that's a rugby union term, but that is about where they are on the field, 20 metres out from their own line. 3.5 minutes into this game. They are just showing Nutlick took it beautifully, but then slipped. Unfortunately, lost all of his momentum. Now another big drive, 3.5 minutes into the contest. Papua New Guinea are yet to score themselves the points on the board, but they are not too far off by the looks of the way they're attacking at the moment. Does this vote 92% Papua New Guinea, 2% Wales, flat up PNG, or just repeat Wales, says Darren. I think, to be honest, it's probably about what the betting odds have it as well. So I think everyone, we have got a lot of Papua New Guinean supporters at the moment, which is absolutely awesome to see as they are going nicely in this Rugby League World Cup. Nutlick down the wing, finds the offload on the inside, just a little knock on from Lachlan Lamb though. And now Wales will have themselves the scrum beat, and Papua New Guinea go for 100, says Nate there. It was a great offload. Wellington Albert just has this brilliant ability of luring in 3 defenders who still can't stop his arms from offloading. He still finds it in the end. Nutlick went for the ball on the inside. Unfortunately for Lamb, it was just a little bit too low. Wasn't going to be able to catch that one. And the scrum feed now will be going in favour of the Welsh. But they'll be looking to play this game at a high tempo. Papua New Guinea really test that gas tank. Playing in the rain as well will make the handling maybe a little bit sloppier than we would like to see from both sides. But at the end of the day, you got to play to the conditions. And if you're playing in England, probably going to see some rain at some point of your competition. Now going off to the short side. Going to be Antrobus. Nice carry there. One of the Papua New Guinean players getting stuck under that one. I think it was Alex Johnson. Now good tackle made by Putt. Like they're talking about Tonga, they were absolutely dominant in their game last night up against the Cook Islands. That sounds like a set reset. That's going to be a useful one for the Welsh. And now that reminds me, now that we've seen that set restart, there were a lot of times in that last match for Papua New Guinea that the discipline let them down a little bit, and they cannot afford to have that up against England in their quarterfinal. They need to make sure they're not giving away those penalties. Still driving forward here for Wales. Nice backline starting to open up now. They have been a good side for scoring first throughout their Rugby League World Cup. Papua New Guinea will not want that to happen, though. Now they are going back across to the right-hand side. It's going to be Ollie Odds, gives it off to Antrabus. Now Lloyd going back across. In fact, it's Matty Fozzard with that ball. Little Sell of the dummy. They're up to another set restart, unfortunately. So all that's happening here is just phase after phase after phase for the Welsh, and PNG have to defend. Now, Fozzard goes off to the right-hand side. Little grubber in behind. It's gone too far. It's a bit of a wasted set. They decided to kick it on second rather than taking those extra few. And I think Ollie Olds knows that he made the mistake. And now they are going to be taking the quick tap here. The Kumuls on their own 20-metre line. They are showing a zoom in of Ollie Olds, who will be disappointed with the way that kick went. He thought that it was on. They had someone back there, though. Alex Johnson was waiting for that kick in behind. So I don't think anything really would have come of it, even though it did seem like a very strategic plan. Now, nice run forward. I believe that's Wellington Alberts. No, it's Justin Alarm. Now, he was a question mark of whether he'd be playing in this game after the injury he had in the last match. That's going to be 6 more. Okay, so we're going to have 6 more many times throughout this match by the sounds of it. Now, Lick drives his way up to 40 metres out from the Welsh line. Now going short side Labour. Nice offload. Almost goes through. Reece Martin, the captain of PNG. Now, it's going to be a putback. Gives it off to Wellington Albert. Now another pass back. Labour. He has support on his outside. Goes to Justin Alarm, who steps forward off his left. Finds the offload up. And they're only going to be a couple metres short of line now. Putt is the man who's been just taken down. Now a Pape looks off to the right-hand side. Runs it himself. And Pape, he's 1 metre short. Just dragged down narrowly. A foot short of the try line. A Pape now, instead of playing, it's going to be Labour. He's through and he scored the try. Kyle Labour gets his first try of this matchup and about his third of the Rugby League World Cup, I believe. At Open PNG gets a landslide victory. Says 99 there, and that is nice work from Kyle Labour. Once again, I got it wrong with the first try scorer. Second try of the Rugby League World Cup for Kyle Labour. I was close. I had Roderick Tai was kind of next to him, but also not really in the process. But Labour, brilliant job. But Alarm, a dangerous man with the ball in hand. He found the offload up, and then just short of line was put. They went wide out to the right. Labour linking up nicely with, well, no one really. He just ran it himself, went straight through the gap, and managed to score the try. Hopefully the video ref, I will not be biased against Papua New Guinea against this Gabby. I don't think it's this game they need to worry about for that. It's the next game up against England in the quarterfinal that I think is one to certainly watch out for in terms of the TMO. That's going to be nice drive for Papua New Guinea. One moment. Hay fever is kicking me in the face. Normally the good news is when I've got hay fever, it's supposed to be a nice day. So that's one thing to look forward to for everyone. Although I guess it's only the guys in New Zealand and the South Island who get to look forward to that nice day. Reece Martin has kicked it over. I should mention once again, I say it every live stream, but it is hugely appreciated. All of the people watching from Papua New Guinea. It is an early morning start. I believe like 3:40 a.m. You guys all get up, support your side every single time that they play. And we are going to be up doing the English match of the quarterfinals up against Papua New Guinea on the Sunday morning as well. And also go PNG Kumuls, says Batty there. And also nice Papua New Guinea and try Papua New Guinea, says Richard and Nathan. Yes, go the Kumuls, says Elijah. Currently, the Welsh, they seem to have found a drum in the crowd. They are banging it big time. But that's going to be 6-0 with that conversion going over Papua New Guinea. That's very deep. Too far, in fact, from Wales. And now Alex Johnson will be able to run it all the way to the halfway line. They'll be able to kick it downfield further for touch. And by the Hamish, great 14 minutes of a preview of South Africa versus Ireland, says Richard in there. Yeah, me and Rugby Itch, we did end up giving our lineup prediction for the South Africans. I believe they announce it tonight, so we will get to find out exactly who they have got. He's kicking it all the way back to Cardiff too deep, says Nate. Yeah, and just a little mistake. They could not afford to have their Wales. They've put a lot more pressure on themselves. Reece Martin, nice carry up to 30 metres out from the Welsh line. Now Pape goes off to Wellington Albert. Now I mentioned it last time. 3 men to tackle him and normally still finds the offload. This time decides to hang on to it. Papua New Guinea has to win, no doubt. Says Taylor there. They certainly do. They want to build that momentum. Now it's pouring down with rain. A lick. That was nice. And you know it's extremely wet when you can actually hear the rain in the microphones next to the field. It's going to be now Labour. Goes across Papua New Guinea, fighting for every metre they can. It's going to be a nice tackle made, though. Now, like they're saying, they've got plenty of tackles in hand. Pape now gives it off on the inside. Good run forward from the number 17, Emmanuel Wayne. Sitting only 5 metres out now from the line, and Papua New Guinea looking to attack, maybe to the left-hand side, sounds like. Could be the plan, and it is. Pape now off to Lachlan Lamb. Short ball off to Put. He's just short again. Up to the 4th tackle, but Papua New Guinea, they are only inches from the line. Pape may even consider going around the side himself. No, instead, goes back across. Big run forward from Alec. And is he going to make it? No, just short of the line again here for Alec. Last tackle, 11 metres was gained, and that's going to be the try. And it's for none other than Nixon Putt. Has been able to score. Papua New Guinea on fire in the early stage of this match. And the thing is, you would think with the fire that they're creating, it would be extinguished with the amount of rain falling. That is not the case. Nixon Puck gets in for the second of the match for PNG. And also, Hamish, which teams are you supporting out? I mean, I love the passion we see from Papua New Guinea anytime they play a game of rugby league. And they are the team that need this win to be able to go on and really... I mean, I want to see them do well up against England. It's going to be their toughest game of the Rugby League World Cup so far by far. But they're going to be working hard on it. Pouring down, says Nate. At Papua New Guinea, we still have faith in you boys. Go the Kumuls, says Tinny there. And also it's Nixon Put and there as well, says Henry. And also we have got there, yes, go the Kumul brothers. And a very important for that was, says Mark. As well, Nixon Put doing very nicely there. I seem to seesaw between Put and Put, don't I? Sometimes I'll say Put, sometimes I'll say Putt. So Put is the right one. It's just I normally get it wrong as well, unfortunately. But currently 12 minutes into this game, can rugby matches be stopped once heavy rain comes? If it does, it's an extreme rarity. And normally there is something else to do with why the game is cancelled, if that makes sense. So like if it's a thunderstorm and it seems too dangerous to be able to play, that's normally the only time we'd see a rugby game getting called off. Like they're saying, Reece Martin normally kicking in these conditions week in, week out for the Leeds Rhinos. And it's straight down the middle. That's going to make the score now 12-0 in favour of Papua New Guinea. What about scrum against these big boys? It's scary score, maybe 40-10, says Roof. And great commentary, bro, says Gabby. Thank you very much, mate. Hugely appreciated. Let's go Papua New Guinea, says Nate. And there as well. But Nixon Put, he was just too close to the line to be stopped, I guess is the best description of what just happened there. It's a brilliant player. Go the Kumuls, we trust in you. He's swapped there. So I guess question for everyone supporting Papua New Guinea here. How do you see them going up against England in the quarterfinals? Do you think that the passion and the drive that they will have will be enough to take down one of the favourites of the Rugby League World Cup? Or do you feel that England may be just a little bit too tough of a task? It's going to be an entertaining game either way, though, seeing Papua New Guinea in action up against the English for the first time in this Rugby League World Cup. But Papua New Guinea 20 metres out from their own line now. Going to drive forward. It's a good run from, I believe it was Emmanuel Wayne. And do I mix a Papua New Guinea try for me? Should be 8, but it's 12. Or did I miss one? No, so pretty much 2 converted tries they've been able to get for themselves. So they have got the 12 points rather than the 8 now going off to the side. It's going to be the big run from Labour. In fact, no, sorry, Lachlan Lamb decides he wants to have the carry up to the halfway line. 4th tackle. At the moment, a Pape goes off to the right-hand side. Nice step from a lick and makes a couple extra metres till he's dragged down by Anthony Walker and co. Kind of sounds like a company, doesn't it? Now it's going to be kicked high from Labour. He's had his legs taken out from underneath him. It's going to be a tough one, but it goes straight into touch on the full. So they will have to go right back to where it was kicked from. And also go Kumuls trust step. And there, and also go Papua New Guinea Kumuls from Tindari. Hopefully I've said that correctly. Wesley has gone for the Kumuls as well. And PNG with you all the way, says again Nanger in there as well. And also come on Papua New Guinea. So there's a lot of support for the Kumuls by the looks of it, which is absolutely awesome to see. And I hope that that helps them in their game up against England when it does happen in not too much time. One moment, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, they've actually just made a couple comments on commentary, interestingly enough. They said that last time Great Britain went to Papua New Guinea, they got beaten. So that's something to keep an eye on for that quarterfinal. But now Anthony Walker goes back across on the inside. Here comes big man Burke. A pretty good game last week for Wales. And that game, Joe Burke now back across to the short side. Fazard gives it off. It's a knock on, though, from Wales. They wasn't expecting the pass, and he was really angry, but they will be going back for the scrum now. And also, hooray, go Papua New Guinea, says Sammy. The country is behind you. Go the Papua New Guinea Kumuls. Thanks for the commentary, says Chantel's there. No worries at all. We have got plenty more coming for the Rugby League World Cup. Looking through at the way that the schedule sits for the upcoming quarterfinal fixtures. As you can see, 8 teams will be going through to the quarters. 7 are confirmed, although pretty much 8 at this stage. The last team, Group D runner-up, that is Papua New Guinea, who will be playing England. But as you can see, Australia, Lebanon, it's going to be an entertaining game. New Zealand versus Fiji, always a hard-hitting affair. Tonga versus Samoa, brilliant. Pacific Islands Rugby League going to be on show there. And then I would say the game that a lot of people are looking forward to the most, though, England versus Papua New Guinea. What are we going to see in that exciting matchup? Hopefully, a lot of points being scored. Another set restart here for Papua New Guinea. Another set of 6, and Emmanuel Wayne gets us started for the set once again. A Pape looking off to the left. Gives it off nicely to the short side runner now. Nice run from Lachlan Lamb. Gives it off to Justin Alarm. Forced backwards, and they're going back for the penalty. And your commentary much appreciated. Go Kiwi lads. Rain makes things slippery and a bit awkward, especially keeping on your feet and watching from Germany. Go the Kumuls full support, says Ricky there, and also the PNG flags and the chat as well. All right, so this one will be straight out in front. If they were going for the 2-pointer, they'd get it easily, but I don't think they want 2 points. Papua New Guinea, they want to keep on going and keep this pressure on the Welsh. They take the quick tap from a Pape, and then they throw Emmanuel Wayne at the line. 17 minutes in. He's done well to stay on his feet there, or stay on his all fours, I should say. A Pape now running nicely, gives it off to Lay, but they've got numbers on the outside. Johnson gives it off to McDonald. Now getting close. That's a little bit high, and now he's going to be held up just short of the line, is he? Yes. They have been able to stop him, but it took about 5 Welsh defenders. He tries to offload it back, and that's actually going to become the penalty in favour of Papua New Guinea again. So now they'll be able to kick this one for the touchline. One moment. Wellington Albert with a good carry there. Charging at the line 18 minutes into this game, and now they've got still another 5 tackles or so. Lachlan Lamb thought that he might have been able to pierce through the gap, but tackled by his opposite number, Josh Ralph. Now a Pape. Looking like he's going to have this one available going to the right-hand side. The short carry, I believe that was the captain, Reese Martin, just dragged down. I believe a Pape. He is going to go to the left here. No, instead goes right. There was a lot of gaps on that other side, and that's going to be a drop ball from Alex Johnson. Just too much pressure on him. Isn't able to take it cleanly, and Wales are able to survive. Other ones do okay for, says Mark. And also nice try, says Ruth. There was over Alex Johnson. He's had an interesting Rugby League World Cup. I said it in the intro. He's done enough to be doing well, but he hasn't done enough that everyone's kind of seen all his highlights, if that makes sense. He's kind of just been the quiet workhorse of this Kumuls side, and probably will continue to be as they move throughout the Rugby League World Cup, unless, of course, that game up against England is the one that we see him really step up, but Wales only a few metres out. It's going to be Kyle Evans, runs straight at put, and it is great to see Kyle Evans still playing well week in, week out, because he had a tremendous game last week for Wales. We'll be hoping to replicate it in this contest up against the Kumuls. We have got PNG beat England here and POM. I wouldn't be surprised if they beat England on home soil, says Cyan. Yeah, it sounds like in terms of recent history, Papua New Guinea have had a little bit of that advantage, which is great news because that just makes a little bit more intrigue into the matchup of the quarterfinals. Once again, good tackle made on Reese Williams. Now Fazard going off to the left-hand side. Anthony Walker has a nice run straight at a Pape. He's been taken down, sitting on their 4th tackle, which now makes that 5th. 62 metres game from Wales. A good set. Well, it's going to be put high from Ollie Olds. Waiting for it to come down. It's inside of the in-goal area. So Alex Johnson will run it back up to the 20 and have the quick tap and go. Charging straight at the line and straight at Walker. And like they're saying, the poor kick from Ollie Olds, although the conditions are not really helping him in that factor. Now, Roderick Tai, one of the first times we've seen him have the carry. He was my prediction for the first try scorer Oh, he's just been dragged down and held, still held. He moved up an extra like 10 or so meters, and that's going to be only the first tackle. Reese Martin tackled well in the tackle by, I believe that would have been Elliot Kerr. I said tackle way too many times in that sentence. Yeah, the rain absolutely bucketing down at the moment for this game. Pape now going back across to the side. It's going to be an attacking run from Lachlan Lamb. Short ball up into the hands of, it was Emmanuel Wayne. And also momentum favours Papua New Guinea Kumuls. Maintain it. Thanks always for the commentary, says Avit. No worries at all, mate. We have got plenty more coming in the future. Lamb now gives it off nicely to Alex Johnston. Taken down. That's going to be the fifth and final 69 metres game. Like they're saying, 30 tries for Alex Johnston last year in the NRL. Yet he is yet to get one. That's going to be Papua New Guinea almost able to get it. I believe it's a knock-on against them, though. This hay fever is quite strong this morning, ladies and gentlemen. And also, Hamish, do you think the numerous one-sided scores during the group stage has shown that the top 8 teams only merit inclusion at this stage of the Rugby World Cup? Says Darren, I mean, we've certainly seen a lot of one-sided affairs. It's actually been this group, Group D, has been the best one to watch, I think, with the results that we've seen. Yes, we've had a couple games that are almost considered runaways, but nothing too one-sided, which I think is what you really want eventually for all of the groups of the Rugby League World Cup. But there is definitely a difference between some of those top sides like England, Australia, and whatnot compared to some of the other sides in their groups. At Talofa Hamish, the Kumuls will smash the W Dragons 32 points to 10. Yeah, go the Kumuls, says Kingi To'o. And also, heck yeah, Papua New Guinea, keep going. And also, we have got there, go, 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 Kumuls, fly high. And also, Rugby League World Cup. And Papua New Guinea, says Peter. Now another big carry, and the rain starts to pour just a little bit heavier again. Wales, that will be fifth and final for them. 4 metres gain that time, not too bad. Now the attack and run going off. Ralph finds the offload to Aikens. Wales keeping this ball alive. Selling a little dummy. Ollie Olds goes for the kick in behind. It's going to pull up, and all they can do with that for Roderick Tai is put that ball into touch. I think this year England squad is much better. Papua New Guinea must work hard on defending their side, says Zed. Yeah, it's definitely going to be that defensive factor and the discipline. Like we've said, Papua New Guinea already giving up a few resets throughout this little stage of the match, so they need to make sure they're getting that right. It is absolutely pouring, though, at the moment. On my quarterfinal prediction, England 40, Papua New Guinea 12, and I agree totally, Darren. Says Richard there. It's going to be kicked off short by Papua New Guinea, going for the low roller. Kyle Evans. In fact, no, sorry, it is the man out on the other side. Will Evans has been able to get that one for the Welsh. Held there. Was that going to be a restart? No, they were just saying he was trying to get a few too many extra meters for the referee's liking. Walker now. Little kicking behind. Going for the cross kick. Kyle Evans. Oh, he could have had it. I don't think he realised that Papua New Guinea weren't going to be putting the extra pressure on him, though. So he ended up just kind of bulldozing into Papua New Guineans winger. I think it was Roderick Tai out there on Fly High Common Brothers. Says Judy John. Yeah, once again, I do apologise for the fact that my hay fever is playing up, ladies and gentlemen. Anytime that it is, I'm just going to quickly mute, blow my nose, and then come back to the commentary. I feel like I'm going to have a word with my nose and tell it to be a little bit more professional in future. So it's not running so fast, but that's going to be a brilliant run from Papua New Guinea right up the field. And brilliant work from the number 19, Jimmy Nudlick, has been able to score. He's been crushed by his teammates in the process as well, but Papua New Guinea now running in and getting their third. And give Papua New Guinea a slight chance against England, says Nazi Williams, and you're good, says Gabby there. But that was a tremendous try. Jimmy Nutlick ran right up the middle of the park, just used that pure pace that he has got, and was able to get himself a very handy try. That is his first try in the Rugby League World Cup as well for Jimmy Nutlick, and I don't think it's going to be the last. And under and lighting and also fireworks, never saw anything like it. Try Papua New Guinea, says Richard there as well. But brilliant run from Nutlick, like I mentioned. Just bet everyone for pace. Kyle Evans thought he had half a chance of stopping him. He was wrong because of the extra express pace that Nutlick possesses. They just weren't able to quite stop him. It's going to be 25 minutes through, though. The third try of the match for Papua New Guinea as they look to continue this dominance in the first half. Wales are normally a pretty good side in the first kind of 10 to 20 minutes. Papua New Guinea have really just left them out of any chance of making comebacks here. And thank you, young Jimmy Nutlick, says Judy John there. But now the kick's going to be lined up by Reece Martin. Straight out in front of the post. Should be easy enough for a player of his caliber. I have seen someone dressed as Harry Potter in the background there, and I believe it is Halloween over in England. So a happy Halloween to you guys who are living in the UK. But now Reece Martin lines it up, gets it over. That's going to make the score now 18 points to 0 in favour of the Kumuls. And also Nutlick's good player, man. Says Nazi Williams. He certainly is. He hasn't had a huge amount of opportunities throughout this Rugby League World Cup, but now just showing that as soon as he does get any type of space, he's gone. I'm a Fiji fan, but I support Papua New Guinea. Toso Papua New Guinea Toso. It's so sad to see Samoa and Tonga clashing at the early stage. Yeah, it's a shame that they have to play in the quarterfinals because at the end of the day, like that match is at least semi-final caliber, if not final, depending on how they both go in their upcoming games. But it's going to be kicked off long. Papua New Guinea will be claiming it. Labour gives it off to Lachlan Lamb, who's going to run it back hard at the line. In fact, I think that was the number 15, Dan Russell, who gets his first carry of the match since coming off the bench. As the interchange, he is replacing Emmanuel Wayne. And they won at 40 at halftime. I wonder, says Richard, there's a chance that they could be relatively close to the 40-point mark. Another set restart. That's not what Wales needed. They want to only have to tackle the Papua New Guineans 6 times and then get the possession back. But now another good carry forward for Papua New Guinea. And they're showing there the Welsh changes. It's going to be Butler on the field. Connor Davies also making his way out there. Deciding to make the 2 at once. Maybe a little bit worried here, Wales, that they are going to be gassing out before the end of the first half, but it's going to be a nice tackle made on Reece Martin, who's held down a little bit longer. Off to the left-hand side now. Short ball. Nice work. It's going to be the number 22, Sapitkin. He's only recently made his way out onto the park as well. Lachlan Lamb, nice run. Ball on the inside is going to go into the hands of Ollie Olds, though. My nose just doesn't want to stop running for this one. And no disrespect, it is Nutlick or Nutlick. And there as well, says Nazi Williams. It is, sorry. Hey, Fever, gotta love it. But as you guys know on the Kiwi Lads channel, no matter what's happening, even if my eyes are watering flat out, we are still going to be continuing with the commentary. 12.5 minutes left of the first half. Charging forward here for Wales. Another nice tackle made. That time it was Sapitkin. He did nicely. I'm going to have to get another box of tissues at half time. Alex Johnson with the carry there. Now driving up to 40 metres out from the Papua New Guinean line. It's going to be off to the right-hand side. Lamb decides to go quickly, gives it off to Justin Olam. Moves up quite close to the 40-metre line now for them in quarterfinal predictions. Aussies by 36, New Zealand by 24, England by 10, and Samoa by 8. Says Peter Mason there for the predictions. Yeah, there's going to be some great games of the quarterfinals, so that is for sure. And keep flying high, Kumuls, says Adam, and in the chat as well. Now up to the 4th, so they've still got one more play. Lachlan Lamb. In fact, no, Dan Russell once again has another carry. Now, we did see his one earlier on in the competition. That is going to be the penalty in favour of the Kumuls. And you should get a sponsor, Hamish. It would be a good idea to get a tissue sponsor. Definitely with hay fever the way it's hitting me today. It's been rough. Like, that's the thing. It's always as soon as I start talking, I think it's because my nose moves a little bit. So then that is where you do end up just getting the sneezing fit that you do end up having. And also, I got to say, Hamish, I have huge respect for England. They approved their medal. What's your feeling about their next match? They will come in as heavy favourites up against Papua New Guinea. But from what I've heard on this live stream, the fact that Papua New Guinea have beaten them in the past, that will give the Kumuls a bit of confidence. Dan Russell, great try. He's reached out and has managed to just get it on the line. 22 points to 0 now. Papua New Guinea lead. And also toilet paper roll, cuz, says Nuzzy Williams there as well. But that was great work from Dan Russell. He's only just come out on the field and has got extremely long arms, which benefits him for tries that he has scored. Pass definitely won the way that he just did. And also we got this 6-7-5 up Papua New Guinea. Says the Landies there, and also come on Papua New Guinea. Keep focus, says Mark Robertson to the try. Papua New Guinea, says Richard. Oh, hang on. Did Dan Russell? No, he didn't drop that ball, did he? He managed to stretch out, scores the try. And that is very nicely done. God's way of pushing you for the Santa outfit and the Dracula teeth. I should say punishing me. Yeah, he didn't like the Halloween costume, did he? Unfortunately, but 30 minutes through at the moment, Papua New Guinea sitting 22 points to 0 at this stage of the match. And Amen says Landies there. This is getting bad. My nose just won't stop. We've only got 10 minutes left of the first half, and I have run out of tissues almost. I think I just heard them say time off. But I think that's just because he's taken a little bit longer to kick it. And that one's gone over now, 24 points to 0 in favour of Papua New Guinea. So what I'm going to very, very quickly do, ladies and gentlemen, just because I don't think I'm going to make it to halftime with the amount of tissues that I've got, I'm going to go run and get a box, and then I'll be right back. They are still just waiting for the kickoff. So we will be back in a very, very short moment. And we are back. I did just drop the box, though. But that is all right. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. You can't predict hay fever. Oh, everything's falling down now. But that is all right. You may get hay fever tablets. I actually had them for a while, but they didn't work, sadly. 31 and a half minutes through. The moment in this contest is going to be another big drive forth from Roderick Ty. Finds the offload. In fact, it was Nixon Put who had that ball now off to the side. Nice run from Malik. Moves up to the halfway line. Feel sorry for Hamish having hay fever. Says Kevin, yeah, it's one of those ones that's the worst possible time to have it while there is a Rugby League World Cup game going on. Definitely one of the caliber Papua New Guinea versus Wales, but we will keep on adapting. We'll hope for the best. We're out it, but it was a short ball on the short side from Reece Martin, and it just didn't quite find the hands of McDonald the way that he needed it to for the PNG boys. So now Wales are going to have themselves a scrum feed and go. Papua New Guinea, you know what to do. Run them hard, says Leon, and also keep scoring more points to Kumuls. And here we go, says Dom, don't worry, boss. Nobody moved or touched anything while AFK, says Nate. It was actually quite a quick little trip out there, I thought. I pretty much just ran to the kitchen, got the box, and then ran back all while waiting for the kickoff to be made. But it's a tackle made by Dan Russell. I've been told to release Evans, but they did take a little bit longer than they wanted, so it's going to be another set restart. Pape makes the tackle there as well on Kyle Evans. Now, they were showing his girlfriend in the crowd. She didn't have anywhere near as many tattoos that we know of as he did. He has got them pretty much all over the full body, the full arms, and everything in between. Now, 33 minutes through, like they're saying, the Women's Rugby League World Cup is going to be kicking off tomorrow. That's going to be an exciting one, and hopefully we will be able to cover a few of those matches as well. Currently up to third here for Wales, going off to the short side. Going to be Fazard. One more, finding the hands of the big number 17, and Trabus. Drives up to close to 20 metres out from the line for Wales now. Elliot Kerr going to be playing at half. And off now, one more to Old. Pass, quick hands from the fullback. Aikens gives it off now to Evans on the outside. He's got the option. No, he's gone down just short of the try line, about 7 metres out now. Now, mate, please change the score on the screen. Oh, yeah, it is a little bit low, isn't it? There we go. Has now updated. That's going to be in the in-goal area. Nicely taken by Papua New Guinea. They'll charge back up to the 22 now. Attack and play for Papua New Guinea now. McDonald moving up to the halfway line, and already Papua New Guinea just in the one phase have made more metres than some sides, making 5 tackles. Nixon Put already able to score himself one try in this game. That is going to be the first tackle now. Honeycomb, brother, good for hay fever. I might have to give that a go. Although I don't know where we would find Honeycomb, unfortunately. We are from a small town. And score, says Wesley, it is currently 24-0 in favour of Papua New Guinea after 34 minutes of this matchup. Now going off to the side here, to the left-hand side. Nice work. Nixon Puck gets the offload. Oh, he tried it. He didn't get the offload away, though, and Lamb has also knocked the ball on in the process. It just seemed like Putt was a little bit, was a little bit too quick with trying to get that offload away rather than just taking the contact. They still had time left to be able to go for a couple possibilities. I think Alex Johnson was tackled relatively early by Kyle Evans, though, there. But rain is still absolutely pouring down, currently sitting 5 minutes away from halftime in this contest. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I can promise you, I don't normally have hay fever, which is one of those ones that we wish would just go away for the live stream. Another big run forward from the Welsh. 4.5 minutes. They certainly need to score themselves some form of points in the first half just to have half a chance of winning this game. It's going to be Old now going off. And Trabus almost breaks through, but a great tackle made by Dan Russell to be able to stop him. In fact, it was Labert was able to do so. Now Reese Williams goes off. Olds gives it off one more to Ralph. Short ball. This is looking a lot better from Wales. They're making those meters a little bit easier than we have seen. It is a fact that Rugby League World Cup to 1995, the Welsh beat Papua New Guinea 56-0, says Henry. And there is also, they have been able to do it in the past, although, of course, the difference is at the moment, Papua New Guinea, they have themselves 24 points on the board compared to Wales 0. And as you can see, going great. Now, not really. It is still a little bit shaky at the moment. It seems to freeze every once in a while. So normally the best idea for live streams is to just get the game up and not touch anything during the live stream. So hopefully it will end up still playing the game throughout the rest of the Rugby League World Cup and also the Rugby Union Internationals that we have got coming up just around the corner. Have you tried some Campur oil rubbed around those? It's pretty effective. Papua New Guinea looking lethal, even in heavy wet conditions, says Roof, although everyone's slipping and sliding at the moment for Wales on the attack. 37 minutes through this contest, still 3 minutes left of the half. And Wales, they found themselves getting a new little bit of attack for the last 5 minutes or so. Another big run. Going forward, and what about All Blacks fixtures in this World Cup? So they are going to be playing up against the Fijians, the Kiwis, and that is at 8:30 a.m. on Sunday morning. That looked high from Papua New Guinea. No, it slipped down from Martin, so it's going to be all right. It's going to be play on. Now back across Fozzard. Goes to the right-hand side. Here come Wales. They're up to fifth and final now. On the last, Fozzard gives it off. Little grabber in mind. Oh, Johnson hasn't cleaned it up, but Alarm will get it. Okay, they have actually said it's a penalty to Wales there. And they're only a few meters out, which means they will be able to continue this attack that they've been able to have for themselves over the last little while. I feel like it's going to be easier just to cut my nose off at this stage. I don't need it. Ask Voldemort. He's fine without one. Kind of. Well, not really. If you watch Harry Potter, you know he's not really fine overall, is he? That ball's come free. It's another penalty to Wales. The worst thing is, normally if my nose is running like this, the next thing is for it to bleed, which I mean would be right in the theme of Halloween, but not really what we want in the middle of the live stream. Now it's going to be back across to the side. Nicely taken, Kyle Evans. Driven into touch. Great defense from Papua New Guinea there. With just a minute and a half left in the half, it seems like they should be able to close it out with no points against them. And also Wales good at swimming, says Mark Dan. Go the Kumuls says no. And also Papua New Guinea, we are watching this game, says... And it was Jay. And I did actually hear from someone who did say that no one sleeps when the Kumuls are playing for Papua New Guinea. They're always wide awake during these matches. And Kumuls satisfied, says Benji. And there as well. But now nice run forward from Roderick Tai. Moves to a meter out of the 20-meter zone. Kyle Evans, though, they're showing him he hasn't been as prominent as he was in the last game. Reece Martin with the nice carry. Pape looks off to the left. Gives it now to Lachlan Lamb, who does the skip pass, finds one of the other big forwards for the Kumuls. I believe it was actually the number 22, Sibikin. Did have that one. Now, the question for me is, do Papua New Guinea look to just close out this half because they've got 30 seconds, or do they go with another big attack? They've actually gone for the kick in behind, and it looks like it's going to curl almost into touch. But Rhys Williams picks it up, gives it off now, and it looks like Wales are willing to just sacrifice the tackle just out from their own in-goal area. And this should be half-time once we have one or two more quick phases. That time it was actually Will Evans with the carry there. Gets back up. This will be the last one. Kyle Evans just hits it at the line. And no, there's still time for one more. The clock must have been slightly wrong. We haven't heard the halftime hooter. Someone forgot to turn the thing on. It's going to be another tackle. There it is. Now it's going to be halftime. And this matchup, 24 points to Papua New Guinea, 0 to Wales at this point. And brother, in this World Cup so far, you have been a lifesaver for us who are not in front of the TV. I'm at work and listening to you. Go the Kumuls says mangoes and pineapples. And I do appreciate you a lot, mate, being here for these live streams. We are going to be there for the quarterfinal as well. I wish my hay fever was not as prominent as it has been throughout this live stream. That is one thing that has been a downfall in this one. But yeah, I do appreciate all of you guys sticking by me, even though every once in a while I have had to mute myself just to try not to sneeze. But yeah, like I mentioned, anytime I have hay fever, though, normally means it's going to be a pretty good day in terms of the weather. So it's currently 13 degrees. We'll probably get a high of about 22, something like that today, maybe, if we're lucky. But at the moment, they are just talking to Rhys Martin, who will be very happy with the performance from Papua New Guinea in that first half. Definitely in tough conditions like we just saw. I'm about to sneeze. Also, what's up, my bro? Great commentating as usual, says Max Eddie. Do appreciate you being here, mate. And also, good morning, PNG. Says Landy's there, and Go the Kumuls says Wilston. And there as well. Currently talking to Elliot Kerr. They are saying that they want to be better. I'm going to sneeze again. This is getting really bad at the moment for myself. I'm just trying not to cry with the amount of sneezing I have been doing. Papua New Guinea, too good for us, says Hershey there. Of course, they will be going on to face off against England in the quarterfinals if it does go the way that we think the draw will. I'm watching from Greece, says Gabby. And there as well. But currently the average meters gained 8 for Papua New Guinea compared to the 6 of the Welsh, and also 825 total meters gained by Papua New Guinea compared to the 458 that we have seen from Wales. And I think they'll beat England too, says Hershey. And also we have good there watching from Greece. Go Papua New Guinea, says Gabby. Tackles made 161 by the Welsh, 130 made by PNG. So it's actually been relatively even in terms of those numbers. Incomplete sets, we've seen 7 incomplete from Papua New Guinea. So that will be one that they want to try and improve on in the second half. Are the crowds, these games, it's disappointing. Crowds a disappointment or what we're expected. I would say the weather probably hasn't helped because a lot of these games have been played in pouring rain, but maybe a little bit lighter than they would have liked to have for the crowds of the Rugby League World Cup. I'm watching from Egypt, says Eunice there. And go the Papua New Guinea Kumuls that should have hosted in Australia, says Landys. Although we've seen a lot more rain in Australia as of late as well. But yeah, I think they would have had bigger crowds in Australia if they had gone that way rather than being in England. But I guess 2025 they're going in France, which I'm very curious to know how the crowds stack up in France rather than somewhere else around the world. I'm hoping if Minoz runs all throughout halftime, it's going to be fine once we get into the second half. That is the hope, but whether or not it actually happens is a completely different story. Thanks, Ray, for the live commentary. Go the Kumuls and watch from Fiji. Go the Kumuls and PNG stands on every try. You put Go Kumuls says Mono there. And the weather being good for Northern England. And go the mighty Kumuls, says Ishimu. And there as well. So the Kumuls, they will be looking to make their way through to the quarterfinals the way that the table is sitting currently. As you can see, Papua New Guinea, they're in second with a win here. That will secure their spot in the quarterfinal. The only way they don't make it to the quarters from here is if Wales go on to score about 70 unanswered points. Then Papua New Guinea would miss out. The chances of that happening are about as likely as my nose stopping running in the second half. Very slim. So should be Papua New Guinea making their way through. Looking at their previous results, though, they do deserve to be there. They had a good game up against the Cook Islands, winning 32 points to 16. They were just narrowly beaten by the Tongans, 24 points to 18. And I think it's going to be a pretty awesome game when they do go head-to-head with the English in the near future. Also, we did see the Welsh narrowly missing out on a Cook Islands victory. They were beaten by Tonga, 32 points to 6. And that is why they are at the bottom of the table. One moment. Once again. And watching all the way from Rabaul, Papua New Guinea, go the Kumuls, says Simon, and also only watch commentary and needs to watch the live video, says Desmond there. And also, I think Papua New Guinea will narrowly beat England by 25 points to 15. My prediction, what do you think, Hamish? I think if they were able to beat it by 10, that would be a massive win for PNG. That is for sure. This hay fever is rough today. I'll be honest, I feel like this is the worst hay fever I've had this season, unfortunately. But it's come at a terrible time. So I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen, the fact that I have to keep on blowing my nose. I keep on sneezing. If I could choose not to, I definitely would not. And also go Papua New Guinea. And they're watching from LA. Papua New Guinea, says Jay there. And go the mighty Kumuls. 8 million people in Papua New Guinea are with you. Go, go, go. Papua New Guinea Kumuls, says Joe there as well. And go Papua New Guinea, says the Ranger. But yeah, this is the way that the quarterfinals stack up currently, ladies and gentlemen. Australia, they will be playing Lebanon. England, they will be playing up against Papua New Guinea, which is Group D runner-up. New Zealand, they will be playing Fiji. And Tonga will be playing Samoa. I feel like this live stream is going to cost me a lot of money in tissues, unfortunately. But it's so weird how before the live stream, it was like, no, we're not too bad for hay fever wise. And then as soon as the live stream started, it was like, hey, do you like your nose running? Because it's going to do it for the next 80 minutes. And I hope that it does slow down soon. I just feel like I'm going to sneeze all the time. Starting to get a sweat up as well from this. And also there, the water boy says, Nate, and also Kumuls by fly yet, says, and it was Anna in there. So first half, in terms of best players for Papua New Guinea, you'd have to say Kyle Labert was pretty up there with the way that he was playing. I should also move this for a second so you guys can see the score. But yeah, Kyle Labert, he wasn't too bad. In the forwards, we did see quite a bit of Nixon put. And also Reece Martin wasn't too bad off the kicking tee, getting himself 4 from 4. Port Tonga is going home in the quarterfinals, says Max Daddy. Yeah, they've got a big game up against the Samoans. That game could go either way. I cannot wait to see who manages to get themselves the victory in that one. There we go. We've dealt with the hay fever again. And also, sorry, drink lots of water, says Judy John there. Yeah, I think that's going to be the plan straight after the live stream. I'm just pretty much going to have to scull about 5 litres of water and hope for the best. Guys, go get your snacks, noodles now, says Landy's there. And PNG from Zach with a whole heap of Papua New Guinea and flags. But they are certainly looking good in this first half with the rainy conditions. You'd have to say 24-0, probably about par for what we were expecting. And also we have got there, sorry for the fever, get well, please, says Eunice. Yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. It's just normally because it's quite polleny at the moment here in New Zealand. So pretty much I just end up sneezing flat out throughout the early stages in the morning. But the good news is, like I said, anytime that I'm sneezing flat out like this in the morning, normally it's going to be a very good day. So, you know, if I have to sneeze for 80 minutes while doing commentary, and that means that a lot of people will get to enjoy the nice sunny weather, I mean, I guess I can sacrifice a few sneezes. Go Tonga, says Ether there. Just showing the highlights of Samoa versus France. There were a lot of them at Samoa. Were very dangerous throughout that fixture. And also there was even more highlights for the Tonga game. Over 100 points scored between those two sides. And Eunice has got the muscle and the thumbs up. Sorry, the muscle and the smiley face, I should say there. But yeah, Samoa recently getting themselves to win 62 points to 4 over France. That was actually a huge win for the Samoans as well. I don't think anyone expected it to be that one-sided. But England's point differential, 168 in the positive, which is absolutely huge. PNG will go all the way, beating England on its way to the grand final against Australia, says Tiapa. I like the confidence in the Papua New Guineans. That's the thing. At the end of the day, they've certainly got the nation's support behind them. And also 50-50 can of sweats, blue lemonade, the boiling water should help, and you'll begin to sweat immediately after says Max Daddy. And also, guys, drop a like for this man, says Landys. I just feel bad that you guys have had to watch me blow my nose all the time on this live stream. Like, normally we try and have a relatively, I guess you call it slightly professional live stream overall, and here I am just constantly sneezing and whatnot, which makes it very tricky. Overall, and yes, morale support strong for our boys, says Eunice down PNG in there. And also go PNG, says Kawangas. Hopefully I've said that correctly, but it's currently in the Papua New Guinean dressing room. It looks like all the players are almost ready to go, make their way back out onto the field and try and have a big performance here for the second 40. So at the end of the day, the more momentum they can build in this game, the better off they will be seen in for their game up against England. Hamish, will you cover any of the Football World Cup in Qatar? I am actually hoping to do a little bit of it. I'm not sure if it's on the main channel or on the Kiwi Lads Sport channel at this stage, and hopefully it's not COVID. No, it shouldn't be. I haven't really been out and about too much. I mean, I had a Halloween party, but I think it's just hay fever. Like, normally this is exactly what happens when I have hay fever. I'm very impressed that you blow your nose without checking the context of the tissue, says Grant. And there's I guess it's just more of a, like, just try and get it out of the way and then go straight back into the commentary. I always feel bad, though, because, like, as soon as I miss one tackle, I'm like, oh, this is disappointing. And Go the Kumuls, says Jack Jerry, and also Go the Kumuls, says Rosita. And there as well, like they're saying, it's still raining in Doncaster. I don't think that's going to change in the second half. It's absolutely bucketing down. And now the big question, though, is will Papua New Guinea, we will ask this question for the chat, yes or no, will Papua New Guinea get more than 24 points in the second half? Is this the last game of the groups? It is indeed. So they have only got just one more game, and it's this one, last 40 minutes, sorry, I should say, rather than one more game. And then we're into the quarterfinals, and the way that the quarterfinals stacks up is exactly like that. So Australia, they're going to be playing Lebanon. One moment. And like they're saying, with this game being on Halloween, there's been quite a few costumes in the crowd. I did see a Harry Potter earlier on. It's actually quite interesting because we do have a Harry Potter who plays for the Leicester Tigers out on the wing in the Gallagher Premiership, fun fact. But yeah, these are the way that the quarterfinals are stacking up as we currently sit. Wales just about to make their way out of their changing rooms. And then we will be back underway for an exciting second 40. And also Go the Kumuls. And yeah, and win England too. And Papua New Guinea Kumuls will win. What a blessing, says Yol. And also thanks for the commentary. Is excellent, says Yol. Thank you very much, mate. Hugely appreciated you being here. And also we have got there, hopefully no more sim-bidding for the Kumuls. Yeah, discipline in the second half, definitely important for Papua New Guinea, because up against England, if they get it wrong, England are going to be able to punish them when they give away those repeated infringements, the 6 more calls. If they can get away with this whole half of not giving away any of those, I think that would certainly make Papua New Guinea's coach a very happy man. But both sides just about to make their way out onto the field. It is still raining at the ground. And before we get into the second half, you know what? We're going to see. Hopefully we have a second half where we have no hay fever at all. I feel like that's way too optimistic, though, but we're going to blow our nose right now. And that's going to be the last time for the half, hopefully. Right. Second half, hay fever free. Fingers crossed, kicked off by Wales to get us underway for the second 40. It's currently 24-0 in Papua New Guinea. They're going to be throwing Dan Russell at the line for the very first carry of the match. Just found the stat. Kiwis versus Fiji in 2017. Fiji upset the Kiwis 4-2 in the Rugby League World Cup. Yeah, an extremely low-scoring game, but it was very nicely done by Fiji. So who knows? Maybe it could be a low-scoring game again. This is better than the one broadcast live, says JT. I appreciate that a lot, mate. Running forward there, it's going to be Simpikin. 30 seconds in, and we're already hay fever free. Just for now. Fingers crossed, and the game against England will be a tough one. It certainly will be. And we are hoping that it will be relatively close in the process as well, though. We don't want a one-sided affair for the quarterfinals. I think a majority of the other games should be close on paper. I think Samoa versus Tonga is going to be the closest game, though. And yes, fever-free second half. Says Eunice is going to be kicked short. Reece Williams actually left that one to try and let it bounce into touch, but it did not find the touchline. Instead, 59 metres gained by Papua New Guinea and an extra about 30. Yep. It's bounced in the field of play, and Wales now will have this ball about 15 metres out from their own line. My honest opinion would be Papua New Guinea Kumuls going to be 44-18 against Wales, says Robert Max. Okay, so you're giving Wales 3 tries throughout the second half. The thing is, it should be doable. They've got a lot of talent. Kyle Evans hasn't really had too many opportunities throughout this first 40 minutes, which is why should have plenty of energy left for the second 40. Another good run forward. This time it's going to be an offload. No, it's a steal, from Papua New Guinea. They've been able to take the ball back. McDonald now gives it off to Justin Alarm. And Labert now will be playing half. They're only 20 metres out from the line here, Papua New Guinea, and they have got plenty of time to work. Going to be Dan Russell charges at the line, the man who had that controversial one at the start of the last game, or the game before, in fact, it was, when he did step into the touchline before putting the ball down. Now going to be a nice inside ball off into the hands of the big man, number 11, Nixon, already scoring a try earlier on in the game, going off to the right. Apape now with the short ball. Reece Martin was close, but he's going to be just short, and Kumuls will get the Wales good and proper. And there, as I says, Janet also sounds like the Kumuls against the Wales. I think that is. Or against the Wales. Yep, that is the emoji. I've just put that together. That took me a little bit longer than I expected. And PNG is the most colourful team in the competition now in all manners. Says goal now. It's going to be another run from Martin. He's put down. But it is going to be another penalty in favour of the Papua New Guineans. Okay, so the referee is not afraid to have to blow a whistle every once in a while, and I'm here to see Wales score in the second half, hopefully, and then I'm off to bed, sleepy eyes tired and wrecked from works, says Nate in there as well. So yeah, hopefully you're doing that, getting yourself a nice long sleep. You've certainly earned it by the sounds of it, working all night. Now Papua New Guinea going off to the left-hand side, the drawn pass almost opening up. Johnston's put the ball down. That's about 4 in a row. We've seen Papua New Guinea drop the ball within the first 3 tackles. Right, I said no hay fever for this half, but we're going to have to break that for just a second. What's going a lot stronger for us in the Harbour, bro, says Nate. And also we're going to Papua New Guinea, the most colourful team in Rugby League World Cup, says PNG. And it's going to be absolutely awesome seeing them go head-to-head with England in the quarterfinals. If they were able to beat England and go through to the semis, that would be absolutely huge for PNG, and you know that the country's going to be supporting them each and every step of the way, which I think is why they have become a lot of people's favourite side throughout this Rugby League World Cup. Justin Alarm, just short of the line, 1 metre out. Now Apape going to give it off to Dan Russell. No, instead decides to run it himself. That was a risky tactic from Apape. Not really a lot of space opening up there, but Dan Russell now is going to be playing half, goes off to the right-hand side. Labert receives it. Only up to their 3rd tackle. He's just going to take it because there was no one really opening up for a passing option. Now up. It is going to be the 3rd, driving nicely at the line. Another big run from Simkin. All he needs to do now is just find that pass. They're up to the 4th. Apape slings it back now to Labert. They decide against the kick on the 4th. Now one more. Ball on the outside. Alex Johnston, no, wasn't able to find that offload that he needed. And it's a good tackle made by Elliot Kerr, the captain. Round the side. It's going to be held up. And the handover. Good defence from Wales. They're only a few metres out from their line, and they were able to consistently stop the Papua New Guineans from going in over the line. You're better than some radio commentators, says Gabby in there. And they also don't have to deal with hay fever that I know of anyway. But thank you very much. Hugely appreciate it. We have got plenty more coming up of the Rugby League World Cup. So if you are new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. That's just pure power from the Kumuls there. Wales, they were out in the field of play, and then they just got driven about 5 to 10 metres backwards. And now Papua New Guinea will receive the goal line dropout. Go the Kumuls, go Papua New Guinea, says Chris. And there as well. And yeah, at the moment, Papua New Guinea, they are playing very well. Their defence is looking solid, and it's certainly going to have to in their upcoming quarterfinal, which we are covering on the channel, ladies and gentlemen. So if you are new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. But 45 minutes into this game, still 35 left. It's going to be kicked off by Matty Fozzard. He's gone with the low grubber. Going to be nicely controlled there by Labor with his foot. Dan Russell now hits it up at the line. Now 40 out from the line for the Kumuls. That's the thing. They could be 40 out. They could be 70 out. And they'd still be able to get relatively close to the line in this set. They just seem to have a knack of being able to make easy meters. That's another great run from Simbakin. And go the Kumuls. Make Papua New Guinea proud, says NRL's best there. And go the Kumuls, go Papua New Guinea, says Chris. And go the Kumuls, defend your line hard as a rock, says Jane there. Currently now they are trying to pierce through that line of the Welsh. Pape goes back to Lachlan Lamb. Ooh, he considered going for the reach. He thought about it. Decided against it in the end. And he has been held there up to the fourth now. Short ball again. That's close. He's over. You're not going to stop Nixon Put when he's only half a metre from the line. Papua New Guinea in again. And that is going to make the score now 28 points to 0 in favour of Papua New Guinea. But Nixon Put, he's just too strong. When he's that close to the line, you can try and defend all you want, but you just can't get him. And also, you're doing well in spotting that hay fever, Hamish. Get those toilet rolls handy. They're cheaper than tissues, says Roofer there. And also, we have got the Let's Go Nixon, says Landy's there. And also, we have got the Simbakin, my boy, says Gabby there as well. But yeah, good run from Simbakin initially to get the momentum going forward. They are just showing the way that Papua New Guinea were able to drive back in the tackle, first of all, from Wales, which then led to the goal line dropout. Now, looking off at that run, he's just gone straight over the top of the replacement, Dan Fleming. Thought he had a decent chance. He would have been sitting there going, yeah, I got him. And then, no, you don't. He's just gone straight over. 47 minutes through. Papua New Guinea, the Kumuls in again. Come on, Papua New Guinea, in discipline or undisciplined place. Says a mark. And also we get the Reese Martin in the white Kumul. Says Judy John. There, the captain of the Kumuls as well. He's about to go for this kick at the post. He's actually sitting 100% today. 4 from 4, looking to make it 5 from 5 now. 47 and a half minutes through, though. Still plenty of time left on the ball for Papua New Guinea to bring up the 50, perhaps, if they do keep on going the way that they are. Reese Martin has got that kick over. So now it makes the score 30-0 in favour of PNG. Certainly building some nice momentum for their upcoming game up against the English. That is going to be the quarterfinal on Sunday morning, ladies and gentlemen, 3:30 a.m. We will be up and we will be covering that game on the channel, as well as the All Blacks versus Wales. We've got a little bit of a co-commentary thing lined up for that one. And 50-0, says Gabby there. I have to say the hay fever in the second half has been a lot better, which is very much appreciated to my nose, so I'm going to have to thank it later. I don't know how you would thank your nose other than tapping it, but then it might run. And also Simbakin, and there says Judas. Now 48 and a half minutes through. Papua New Guinea once again going to be in possession 30 metres out from their line. Another great run from Simbakin. He just keeps on making those post-contact meters, and it seems like that could be a little bit of a secret weapon for Papua New Guinea heading into their next game up against the English. Alex Johnston tries to go through. Was complaining that it might have been a little bit high, but I think he was slipping into it as well. And what the hell is happening to Wales, says the drinking game maker. Unfortunately, it just doesn't seem like they've been able to stop this momentum. They've had a couple of times where they've had the possession and they've been close to Papua New Guinea's line, but nowhere near enough to be able to get as many points on the board as PNG have. Now going off to the short side, 61 metres gain, a little bit of a banana kick. It's going to be an awkward bouncing one, but Kyle Evans is able to clean it up nicely. Now he's going to be taken down once again. Dan Russell makes the tackle on Evans. Round the side, Reese Williams now moves up. Almost 10 minutes gone in the second half. We have got go Papua New Guinea, send Wales home with 0, says Jane there. At the moment, it does seem like it could be relatively likely for the Papua New Guineans to leave this game with the opposition at just the 0. It's a good run from Dan Fleming, and who got run over the top of it. And when you see him in open play, you realise how big he is, which just makes it that much more impressive that Nixon Put was able to go over the top of him. Now Evans is going to be Will Evans, that is, rather than Kyle. The easiest way to tell them apart is Will has a whole heap of, I was going to say a whole heap of beard, But Evans has got a bit of a beard. So I would say Will's got no hair on the top of his head. Kyle Evans has got a whole heap of tattoos. That's the best way of telling them apart. Now Papua New Guinea received that kick. Driving at the line. Another big run from Roderick Tai. Tackle first. Looks like Fozard was trying to hang on to him for as long as possible. Papua New Guinea, they're very good at getting that extra 1 meter or two when they even stand back up to their feet, which is something that gets you just that little bit more. But Alex Johnson gives it back to Labour. Now big run forward from it was Nutlick. And also we got there England. Be wary. Here come the Flying Kumuls higher than the Lions. Go the Kumuls, says Peter, and go the Kumuls, says Toby there as well. Now it's going to be the number 14 recently coming on the field. It was Wesatenza. 30 years of age and now getting his opportunity for the Rugby League World Cup. Another run for from Papua New Guinea. That time Dan Russell. Thanks, Gabby. And there, as I says, Judas. Now fired back into the pocket after 63 meters game. Waiting for this one to come down. And that was a great take from Wales to be able to clean it up at the back. Now it will be Kyle Evans with another run for him. Going off to the right-hand side. It looks like Nixon Putt has now been taken off the field, and that is for Tanumbi. So it's interesting that they've decided to make that sub, but I guess they want to make sure that Nixon Putt is at 100% heading into that next game. Yes, yeah, Kumuls as well, says Gillian. And also we have got there, go Papua New Guinea Kumuls. The whole country woke up early to watch you all play, says Maurice. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think I've ever seen so much support for a side when it is the middle of the night. Like, that's the thing. Someone mentioned on one of the live streams yesterday, they were like, no one in Papua New Guinea is sleeping tonight because we're all waiting for the Kumuls game that is coming up. Where's Justin Alarm, the human brick? Says Judy John. He's been out there. He's just been very quiet. Maybe, I know he got an injury in the last game, which is why I was surprised that he was going to be playing in this match. But I think he's had a light workload here in this game. And that's probably strategic. He's just trying to get a few minutes under his belt. And then from there, you know, kind of see how he's feeling for the English match. But overall, he's done what he needed to, but not anything extra, if that makes sense. If you look at him compared to someone like a Roderick Tai, we've certainly seen Tai a lot more now across field for Wales. They're only sitting 20 metres out from the line. It's going to be Caleb Aikens trying to go through. Gives it off to the right-hand side now. Good attacking run from Davis. That is Connor Davis, who has come off the interchange bench relatively recently. And go Kumuls flying high, says Ignatius there. Okay, that is going to be another reset. Or another restart, I should say, rather than the reset. Now trying to go through Papua New Guinea, able to make the fifth tackle with a set now. Play on. Okay, that was interesting. They said play on. Now he's been held by Dan Russell. They were a bit confused. Dan Russell has no idea what's going on. And now a little grubber in behind. It's gone straight into Alex Johnston's hand, who's hurdled over the defence. Almost driving. He still is yet to get himself a try in this Rugby League World Cup, and I'm waiting for it. Like I mentioned, he got about 30 tries in the NRL this year, but hasn't crossed the line for the Kumuls as of yet. Maybe just saving it for the playoff games now. Off to the side, Lachlan Lamb gives it to Justin Alarm. Once again, jogs into the line. See, he's not playing with that same explosive power as he normally would, Alarm. And love you, Papua New Guinea Kumuls from Bougainville. Hopefully I've said that correctly. And also we have got there, go the Kumuls, says Roland, and go Kumuls from Thompson there as well. Papua New Guinea now, they have had 3 tackles. In fact, that is the 4th for their set. 40 metres out from the line. Another attack and run from the number 13, Alec, but that is going to be 5th and final. They make 65 metres. That is a number we've seen a lot for them. Somewhere around the 60-metre mark. It's gone high. Evans takes beautifully. And the counter-attack here for Kyle Evans. He has done this in one of the other matches, I believe. He's still going forward, ducking under tackles. And he's going to be taken down rather than finding the offload. He just allows Tenza to get him down. They are showing his girlfriend, who was very happy with that run. I feel like they have been waiting for that shot the whole day. They've had the camera on his girlfriend. They're like, once he runs, we're going to get it. And they finally get it after 54 minutes. That's the first real attacking run we've seen from Kyle Evans. And let's go, says Goru there. And the Kumuls have make the whole country, Papua New Guinea, proud. That's why everyone wake up early in the morning to watch every Kumuls game. Go Papua New Guinea Kumuls, says Amos there as well. Now 55.5 minutes through. That is going to be the 4th for Wales. Sitting nicely. Matty Fazard receives a nice pass there. Was Ralph, although he didn't quite find the link up to Evans that he was after. Unfortunately, just ended up overrunning it a little bit. Would have ended up as a 4 pass, but Fazard, after 54 metres gained here for Wales, goes back into the pocket to Olds, who will go for the grubber. It does not work out. That was almost a knock-on. Yes, it was. A mistake from Papua New Guinea, and now Wales will get themselves another attacking set. And Go the Kumuls support coming all your way from Sydney, Australia, says Jane in there as well. And I should mention anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We are going to be back for the quarterfinal matchup between Papua New Guinea and England that is coming up just around the corner. That will be Sunday, 3:30 a.m. And the good news about that game, I believe, is that shouldn't be too bad for you guys from Papua New Guinea. Do let me know what time is it in Papua New Guinea at the moment, because I believe that might be around a 10:30 p.m. game, somewhere around there on the Saturday night. So a nice time to be able to watch a bit of rugby league. Definitely a quarterfinal matchup up against the English. That's going to be certainly exciting. Wales need Tyson Frizzell, says Nate there. And I was go Wasatenza, says Thompson, and he's been looking good since coming off the bench. Now Wales, though, this is going to be their best attacking opportunity of the half and maybe even the whole game. Big Joe Burke hits it at the line, dropped by Dan Russell. Less than 10 metres to go. Fazar goes off to the right. Old's now in behind. The cutout pass. Wales just need it to go to Kyle Evans, and it does. Almost blown, though, by Will Evans, who thought that the pass was going to him. And thank you for your time. Thank you as well, says Kit. No worries at all. Thank you very much, mate. 6:45 a.m. at the moment. Oh, okay. So it will be a 12:30 a.m. kickoff for you guys for that quarterfinal. So just after midnight. Quick hands, Wales put down, though. That time, unfortunately, it was Antrabas who wasn't able to hang on to it, and the Kumuls now have got themselves the ball back. It's Monday, 7:42 in Sydney. Says Jane down, Kumuls go. There's no cars on the road, and Port Moresby, the entire city glued to their television, says James. And yeah, that's the kind of support that Papua New Guinea, they will feel that while they're out there on the park. They'll be getting kind messages. That was a knock-on, I thought, from Papua New Guinea on the ground, but it's going to be play on just for now. 57 minutes through. Justin Alam tries to go around the side. And like I mentioned, he hasn't had that same explosiveness as he normally has, but now he's broken through a tackle. That's a bit better from Alam there. I'm moving up to only 30 metres out from the line, going short side. It's going to be a big run, and that's the thing. With Xavier Coates out for Papua New Guinea, it did look like they were going to have a bit of a question mark in the middle, but I think they've just filled it in absolutely beautifully. The kick in behind, chasing after this one, and it's going to be tapped dead by Rhys Williams. That was pretty much the only option he had, was to put the ball out and then have themselves the goal line drop out. Oh, yeah, Papua New Guinea Kumuls all the way. Port Moresby City has come to a standstill because Kumuls are playing. And also at 6:42, and Papua New Guinea go the Kumuls all the way from Goroka, says Marco there as well. It's actually a penalty to Papua New Guinea here rather than the goal line dropout. So means that they're going to be 10 metres out from the line, and they will just take the tap and go. Go the Kumuls go, says Jerry there, and also nice, says Nate. Back across here, it's going to be Dan Russell. He has had a lot of runs since making his way off the bench. It's one of the interchange players, which they can still make another 3 or so, I believe, for Papua New Guinea. Quick hands on the outside. Russell, no, it's gone into touch. Didn't quite find the hands of Nutlick. Was able to score himself the try earlier on at 6:44 a.m. here, says Clayton. So yeah, about a 12:30 a.m. kickoff for you guys for the quarterfinal. We will be covering it on the channel. So if you are new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Alex Johnston, I would say that this is probably, it sounds harsh to say, but this is the worst that he has played throughout the Rugby League World Cup. I don't know whether it's the weather that's just getting to him, but he's dropped the ball a couple times. He's also just hasn't really looked like himself out there on the park. So I hope he does get better for the next game up against England, because the scoreline, I think, are they saving themselves for England? Buggered if Alarm got injured, etc., says Nazi Williams. Yeah, so I think it's more of a bit of maybe preservation for Alex, or not for Alex Johnson, sorry, for Justin Alarm. Just get him some minutes under the belt so he feels like he's still in game mode, but really they don't want him getting hurt. And Go the Kumuls, says Chris, morning or afternoon, night or day, doesn't matter as long as the Kumuls play rugby games in any place of the world. All of Papua New Guinea stays alert. Go the Kumuls, says Moses. And there as well. Now it's going to be another one for Wales. 40 metres out from their own line, moving up to 4th tackle now. Nice run. And a couple extra metres there for Chester Butler. In fact, getting an extra about 15 metres. Still going. Dragged down now. And it was going to be hard work to stop him, but he did make an extra 15 or so, 45 metres gain. Kicked him behind by Wales. And they will just tap that one into touch off the bounce. So that it is going to be the Papua New Guinea and reset. Go the Kumuls, says Cheryl. And also we've got there at 6:45 a.m. in Papua New Guinea, says Robin, and also Papua New Guinea. And they're from Chris Gibson. And there as well. Currently 16 minutes gone in this contest. Still another 20 to go. The The Welsh coach is writing notes frantically, unless, of course, he is filling out maybe the boarding pass might be what he is doing now, because Wales, they are going to be heading home very soon in this Rugby League World Cup. He's just making sure that he's filled in all the boxes and that they can get straight on the plane after this contest. But 16 minutes, injury for Wales, and he held his head and he waved like this. So I think there's something relatively serious at the moment for his head. Hopefully he does get that medical attention relatively soon. But for now, the Kumuls going to be on attack. It's going to be 6 more for Papua New Guinea as well with the man advantage. This is dangerous now. They can pretty much just play their natural game and still have that man advantage. And still wake up. Kumuls go Simbakin. He has been brilliant off the bench. Simbakin. He has been making a whole heap of meters, having the best for England. High flying tempo game, says Nate there. Now it's going to be available for Papua New Guinea. They go to Labour. Ball on the inside to McDonald, who is linking up nicely, kind of curving around, ready to attack the line of the Welsh. Be taken down once again. Wales are still playing with only the 12 players on the field currently. No, in fact, they're going to blow the whistle because Wales have got those injuries that they are just dealing with. I believe, I want to say it's Chester Butler here. He looks like he has got the head injury assessment. Yeah, he's not looking too flash at the moment. Professor Harry and Lucky said, hi, welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very well. And resignation. It could be the resignation. Maybe, like they've just said, that is certainly an easy way to get a head knock and a sore head with the way that it happened there, Chester Butler. But alarm ran in. Butler, it was the finger in the eye, unfortunately, from his teammate. He got the finger right in that eyeball. And that is why he was not too happy. It looks like he's trying to blink it out, but that's not going to hurt. Well, that's not going to help, I should say. It's still going to hurt big time. Another 3 more tries coming for the Fly Kumuls, says Fitty there. And also go the Kumuls, says JK. And they're now going off to the short side. Didn't decide to pass. Instead gets wrestled down by Walker. He's dropped the ball. In fact, no, sorry, that wasn't Walker. That was actually Kyle Evans. The ball's gone out. And now Wales are going to have themselves a reset. Alama's stayed down. I think he's just adjusting his sock, though. All public servants and school students in Papua New Guinea are still watching the Kumuls and not yet going to work and school. And this says Fernandez. Yeah, that's the thing. It's absolutely incredible the amount of support that they have for their side. And like I mentioned, Papua New Guinea, I always mispronounce it when I say that sentence. I think I did it last time as well. But they always will be trying to play their absolute best because they know that everyone is behind them. Just an alarm, says Nate there, all the way Kumuls and go the Kumuls, all Papua New Guinea is watching, says Taylor now. Going to be driving nicely. 18 minutes to play currently and 18 minutes left. There's still plenty of time to see a few more tries from Papua New Guinea and maybe the first try of the match for Wales. They tried the offload. It did not work. And I believe it's first of all a knock-on from Wales, then a knock-on from Papua New Guinea. So the ball will be in favour of the Kumuls now. All the way, Kumuls, says Jimmy, and also go, boys, let's let the bird of paradise fly high on the foreign land, says Jaden. Go the Kumuls all the way from Belimo, Western Province. Kumuls all the way, says Buddy. And now, with another 17 and a half minutes left, it seems like the rain has not let up at all. It's still absolutely bucketing down for this game between Papua New Guinea and Wales. But the thing is, both sides will know how important this matchup was heading into it. Papua New Guinea, I feel like they've done themselves proud with the scoreline they've been able to create in such dire conditions with the way that the rain is just absolutely pouring. I just hope that their game up against England isn't affected by rain. Although, in a way, I would say for Papua New Guinea, if it was raining, that almost benefits them more than it benefits England because England will be trying to play that very structured game. They're able to get it through their hands quickly. That will be danger, but they have to try and deal with all of the wet conditions. That might be a little bit harder for them. That was a high tackle from Papua New Guinea. Where's a time score? A big McKenzie, yay. And there as well. Say Judy, John, and also Arthur Kumuls says Vanessilla. And also we have got Papua New Guinea can do it. Just adding the score up. You have enough time, says Junior. The question that I am going to ask, ladies and gentlemen, I want a yes or a no in the chat from everyone. Will Papua New Guinea score 50 points in this game? They're currently 20 short, which would mean they need another 4 tries in 16 minutes. Is it possible for Papua New Guinea, or will they be short? Antrobus, nice run for Wales. 10 metres out from the Kumuls line now. Going off to the short side. Almost piercing his way through, just short once again. They've still got another 3 tackles up their sleeves. Looks like Ollie Olds Going off to the right-hand side, gives it to Anthony Walker, who we've hardly seen run. Ollie Olds with the kick in behind. In fact, it's going to be bouncing up for the Kumuls, and they just run it dead. So I believe it is going to be the goal line dropout now. Evans helps up the player who they both went flying into the barricade. No chance, says Peter. Yes, from Jane. Watching from Rainy Lay, says Joshua, and also come on Wales, and also go Papua New Guinea. And then go the Kumuls all the way from Tabilbul, Western Province, says Jacob Meck. Yeah, nice work. From it was Nutlick, who ended up going straight into touch. And it's a goal line dropout. I don't think so. Less than 40, says Sorrell. And also we get a yes from Jane. We support our boys, says to me. And now Anthony Walker crashes at the line. The big man gets some speed, but Tenza makes a nice tackle on him. Now 65 minutes through. Going off to the left-hand side, Joe Burke. Getting some momentum building now for the Welsh. 15 minutes left on the clock. Going off to the right-hand side this time now. Olds goes back across to Ralph. Gives it to Lloyd, who's been driven backwards. Maybe close, maybe 40, says Landy's there. Yeah, I think I should have said 40 rather than 50. So I guess 2 more tries for Papua New Guinea. Is it doable, do you think? Is the new question. Ollie Olds now goes back across here. Inside ball from Akins. Now Kerr trying to go through. The captain, we've hardly seen him either. In fact, we've hardly seen a lot of the Welsh players, but that is because Papua New Guinea have been dominating the position of this fixture. Alec has been taken off the field. That is for Emmanuel Wade. That one's gone backwards for Wales. They found the offload as well. Now off. It's going to be Ralph slipping over almost. Papua New Guinea, this is going to be a tough defensive set for them. They now have the kick for the 5th and final. Where do Wales go? Olds goes with a little grubber in behind. The ball was swirling. And Papua New Guinea just get it dead from McDonald's. Or McDonald, I should say there. Good defense overall. And also, thanks, Gibby lads, with you from beautiful Madang. And there's SSO, and also it'll be good for Wales to score. Yeah, we'll give them a bit of something in this game, I guess you could say. Going to be kicked long by Labour. Just gets as much meterage on the drop kick as he can. Almost goes down to the 50-metre line. Anthony Walker once again now drives at the line. The thing is, he moves well for a big man. And he has been able to make his way up to about 35 metres out now for the Welsh defence. Or sorry, for the Welsh attack, I should say. Now Connor Davis around the side. Good tackle made on him by Tenza. Another interchange player for the PNG side. Now going off to the left. It's going to be Ollie Olds. Gives it one more. It's a drop ball, and it's a big mistake. And now Roderick Tai, he's dropped it too. But I believe it's going to be a double knock on. Papua New Guinea will have themselves the scrum feed here. And go the Kumuls, says Tete there. And go Papua New Guinea watching from Tari. And go Kumuls, says Amos. Amos, hopefully I've said that correctly. And also we'll get a yes score. Will range between 30 and 40. I think all the way from Rainy Lay, says Jay there. But Roderick Tai was able to take that ball back after the terrible pass from Caleb Atkins. But didn't end up going free. And will be Papua New Guinea scrum now. And also, we're really good Papua New Guinea. We are with you in the countryside of Iraq Primary School, says Herman there. Another run forward from Lachlan Lamb. Papua New Guinea, they've still got 12 and a half minutes left on the clock to try and get themselves as many points as possible. Alex Johnston almost goes through his best run of the day. His butt is out at the moment, unfortunately for Johnston. It's to pull the pants back up. Now, Papua New Guinea find themselves 45 metres out from Wales's line. We haven't actually seen too many points scored by Papua New Guinea in the second half. Only the one try, and it was relatively early. And I watch him from Goroka go the Kumuls, says Jack Jerry. And thanks, Gibby lad. You make all of know what is happening with a favourite ball. Awesome, says JK. And there as well. And yeah, we've got plenty more of the Rugby League World Cup coming up. Also, the Rugby Union we are going to be covering in the near future. Thank you, Papua New Guinea, for $13,000 my way. Up your sports bet, says Chris. And go the Kumuls, says Peter. It's a high one. Wasn't quite taken cleanly by Papua New Guinea, though. So now Wales will get this ball back with Reece Williams. Looking to try and recycle. Asks for 6 more. He doesn't receive it, though. Now, big run from, I believe surely that wasn't Chester Butler. If that is, his eye has recovered very quickly, which would be great news for that man. Although I think actually it was Elliot Kerr who did have that run. And Papua New Guinea are watching. Go the Kumuls, says Vitlam, and go the Kumuls right here. And get a who stage. Not going to work yet, says Hamish Nelson. I feel like Papua New Guinea, correct me if I'm wrong, one of the only countries you could get away with going to work late because there's a game of rugby league on. And your boss would be like, fair enough, game was on. I was watching it too. Now kicked him behind from Wales. Ralph looking for some space. Hasn't really found it though. Alex Johnston has been able to cut it off, trying to go through the line, but tackled hard by Joe Burke, driven backwards by 5 metres. Great tackle made by Wales. And also, we have got there, please, one more try for me before I go to school, says Judy John. And whenever Papua New Guinea scores, the whole Port Moors city erupts. With shouts of joy. You can hear them from all their houses, says Fernandez. And also 10,000%, says Landis there. 10 minutes left. Papua New Guinea gives it off to Justin Olam, trying to go through. It's been tackled well, though, by Wales. Their defence has been a lot better in the second half, Wales. That is something they do need credit for, only allowing 1 try through the early stages of the half. Now another good bit of work from Anthony Walker in defence. Up to 4th. They're only up to the halfway line now for Reece Martin. Thanks, Gibby lads, for live. Go watch live here. And the Rainy Lays says to me, and yeah, bro, you're correct. We do love our rugby. And yes, everyone is still at home, says JK there. It's going to be kicked in behind from Papua New Guinea, 36 metres in. Oh, Kyle Walker's had a bit of a rough one to try and clean that up, but now trying to break the line. Papua New Guinea not allowing it, though. And their defence has also been very good. I know I just praised the Welsh defence. Papua New Guinea not conceding a single try and not really looking like they're going to throughout this matchup. Unless Wales do something drastic different for the last 10 minutes, I think we're going to see a 0 on the board for the Welsh for their final game of the Rugby League World Cup. Whereas for Papua New Guinea, their next game, they will be heading on to face England. It's going to be a massive game Sunday, 3:30 a.m. New Zealand time. It works out to be about 12:30 a.m. in Papua New Guinea. Rita, you've made yourself known by millions of Papua New Guineans. All the credit to the Kiwi lads, says Hassel there. And that is always our goal. Our goal is to pretty much bring live commentary for those who are either unable to watch it or just want someone to talk to throughout a match. It's kind of like we've got my lounge set up and you guys are the people sitting in the stands with me type thing. It's pretty awesome the way we've been able to build up a nice audience. That's going to be Alex Johnston getting it nicely. I had to almost curve around to try and see that one mistake. It's gone forward from Nutlick, and now Wales, a brilliant opportunity. Just as I say, there wasn't much of a chance for Wales to be able to score in this game. That is the moment that they needed to be able to change the momentum a little bit. Still have a little bit of hay fever, but not as bad as it was in the first half. Go the Birds of Paradise. You have the country support behind you, watching all the way from Port Moresby General Hospital. I love your Kumuls, says Jason, and go the Kumuls, and thank you, Kiwi Lab, for your commentating. Amanu from Kungurra, says Emmanuel. I feel like I've said that really badly, haven't I? Definitely, yes, pause work in school when the Kumuls are flying high for the country on the field of rugby league. But now Wales, close to the line. Aikens, dragged down just short. It's going to be the penalty against Papua New Guinea's defence. I believe it was actually the offside penalty. Do you enjoy watching league as you are a massive rugby union fan, says Manly for life? So, I mean, I've always found, like, I went through stages, I guess you could say, because for a while, rugby league was my favorite. Then I started doing the YouTube side of things for rugby union, and that became my favorite, but I absolutely love watching rugby league as well. So the fact that we've got a Rugby League World Cup while rugby internationals are taking place is just a dream, really. And hay fever sucks in spring, says Eva. It certainly does, and I want Wales to get at least one try, and now they're very close to the line, probably only about a metre short. It's been pushed backwards a little bit. Now Walker sells the dummy. The big man almost tried to go through. Thought about an offload there. Wasn't able to get it. Davis now goes off to the short side to Old. One more. It's a rush defence. Brilliant work out on the wing from Papua New Guinea, but it bounces back for Aikens to once again have another crack at the line. And Wales, they have not given up. They want to try in this game. They don't want to leave anything in the tank for this final fixture up against the Kumuls. Close to the line, driving Davis. Just hold up. Brilliant defence from Dan Russell there. And now it's going to be fifth and final. Only 7 metres gained by Wales. Now selling the dummy. Close to the line. It's going to be short. Brilliant defence from Papua New Guinea. There you go. Kumuls watching all the way from Kokopo in Papua New Guinea. And Kumuls, you have England coming to play to avoid injuries as well, says Yol. And I think that's why we're seeing a slightly, maybe lighter workload for Justin Olam than we're normally used to seeing, because he is saving himself for that quarterfinal fixture. As Papua New Guinea heading into this game, they would have known that as long as they didn't lose by like 50 points, they were making it through to the quarterfinal. Another knock on from Papua New Guinea. Okay, this is not so good for them at the moment. Just a little errors coming in late in the game. It is absolutely bucketing down at the ground, but another nice simple handling error, I guess you could say. It's gone straight through the hands of Emmanuel Wayne, who's had a pretty solid game up till that point. If Papua New Guinea play like that against England, not making use of field position opportunities to score points, we'll make it hard on ourselves to win the game. Exactly right. It's going to be probably one of those games that the weather might affect it quite drastically. If we see a rainy game, I'm not sure whether that would benefit the Kumuls now that I think about it. Because I said earlier on, I thought that it would. But now seeing the amount of handling errors they have had, I would say that it would definitely be a slight disadvantage. Now, nice run for Wales, only 5 metres out from the line. I mean, this is kind of good for Papua New Guinea, though. It gives them a bit more defensive practice before heading into their game up against the English. And they're going to have to make sure that they make all of their tackles. Connor Davis taken down in a great tackle there. Papua New Guinea can't afford to make those silly mistakes. Says Judis, exactly right. Now Walker, the short ball off. Lloyd has been able to clean that one up for Wales. Great defence from Papua New Guinea, driving them backwards 5 more metres. England, we're coming for you, says Fitty there. Now back across to the left-hand side. In fact, no, sorry, that's the right. Kyle Evans. Oh, he's dropped it on the line. And it's going to be put down. Kyle Evans, he was close to scoring. They'll have the shot of his girlfriend now because they did show her earlier on when he touched the ball. But she will be disappointed that he wasn't able to finish that one. That is for sure. I'm quite glad that my nose ran there because there could have been a lot of sentences I could have said about Kyle Evans and his finishing while they were showing his girlfriend, but I decided against it. 4.5 minutes through, or 4.5 minutes left, and he's just been taken down just short of the line for Kyle Evans. Now, 30 points to 0. It seems like Papua New Guinea, they may only get themselves to 1 try in the second half, but it would still be an impressive performance nonetheless with the amount of points that they've been able to put on the board. Go the Kumuls, and the Kumuls versus England. Go the Kumuls, says Jack. And there as well. Now, Papua New Guinea, if they can get out of those last 4 minutes without conceding and maybe scoring themselves a try, their own nice run for Reece Martin, the skipper. Now moving to 30 metres out from their own try line. Currently showing Nixon put the man of the match. He was tremendous throughout this performance. And also go the Kumuls, says Kera. And there as well, now going off to the left-hand side. Papua New Guinea up to the 4th tackle. Now they've got 2 more to work with. They've moved into the half of Wales, though. Now another nice carry. That time it was Lachlan Lamb who was just willing to sacrifice one. 5th and final now. Going to be at number 14. Tenza fires back into the pocket. Labour gets some good height on that one. This is going to be a hard one to take. Kyle Evans, he waits for the bounce. He wasn't able to get to it. Papua New Guinea do, and it's another try for the Kumuls. And that is nicely done. Kyle Evans, he tried to get over and cut that one off. Unfortunately, just a little bit too far away from that torpedo of a punt that came down from Labour. Then from there, Papua New Guinea, they waited for the bounce. They got it as well. And it is a beautiful try scored for the Kumuls there. And also not good enough Kumuls. Complacency creeping in second half, not good. Have to be much better against England, but that was actually not like he got his second try of the match there, and last try before full time. A nice Papua New Guinea congrats to the boys from the equator, and piling in 30 points under such wet conditions is awesome, says Fitty there, watching Boundary Road. Lace City, Papua New Guinea, says Wantrefu. Hopefully I've said that correctly. I do apologise if I have got that slightly wrong though, but Labour, great kick. Kyle Evans, he was jogging for it for a start. He thought it was closer, but then from there, the ball sits up, Nutlet goes over and scores himself to try. Thank you, Kumuls. My data usage worth it. Yep. It's 11 p.m. in Egypt, says Eunice there. And yep, Papua New Guinea will grab some points and pull the banner down in the dying seconds, says Sammy. Now we're just 2 minutes left in this match, going late to work just to finish up with this game, says Jeff, and that is 100% fair enough. And like I mentioned earlier on, it seems to be Papua New Guinea is one of those places you can get away with going to work late. As long as you're watching the rugby league, you are completely fine. Reece Martin sitting 5 from 5 so far with 100% kicking accuracy throughout this match. And also we have got there, let the Kumuls fly high, says Judy John with the flags. Now Reece Martin going to be kicking this one straight down the middle for the Kumuls, and that's going to be 90 seconds left on the board, and the Kumuls maybe still have the opportunity to be able to get themselves to the 40 points. Thank you all the way from Madang, says Jimmy there. But it was a great kick from Kyle Labour, and then Kyle Evans just didn't line it up the way that he would have wanted to at all. And yeah, it's our pride, Papua New Guinea Kumuls, at full support for Emmanuel Wayne from JFK Goroka, says Jerry there. And he's had a pretty decent game, Emmanuel Wayne. He was running the ball hard early on in the match, and I think that's something that they will be looking forward to up against the English. Wales actually managing to retain their short kickoff, so they will get possibly the last attack instead of the day. It's going to be the big man Walker. Just walking forward by a few more meters. 1 minute 20 left on the clock, going off to the right-hand side here for Wales. The draw and pass is looking sharp. Lloyd almost through. Finds the offload. The player wasn't looking, though. Whoever that was for Wales, he was waiting for the next set to start rather than actually being in support. Now, nice run forward. I believe that was Benian. And also, give you lady best, says Eunice there. And also watching from C. And also, where is the Halloween costume, says Totally Lemon. We did have one yesterday on the channel. We were dressed as Santa. Fun fact there. And also, one more try, please, says Landys. Currently, Wales, though, they're looking for their first try of the matchup. And they don't look like they are too far off. And also, we have got there in the chat. Thank you, Hugh. Appreciate you. Hope you get well soon, says Jane. And there, yeah, it should be just the morning for the hay fever, and then we should be all right. And the afternoon, it's kicked in behind the chip and chase. It's going to be sitting up for Papua New Guinea. And Nutlick's able to clean it up now with just 20 seconds left on the clock. The question is, do Papua New Guinea want to try and march forward 90 meters, or do they just take a couple sets? Okay, that answers the question. Just an alarm, just sacrifices the tackle there. I'm going to have one more, and then it will be full time in this matchup. But just an alarm. It's probably, like I mentioned, he's had a quieter game, but he should be now match fit for the upcoming game up against the English. End of the matchup, though, 36 points to nil in favour of Papua New Guinea, the winners of this contest, and they move through to the quarterfinals. And also, Kiwiland took 30-0 yet. There's students and greetings and congrats from the gateway to the Highlands provinces. And there, and go the Kumuls, says Nick Daniels. Appreciate you being here, mate, and support from Mindy Ship, or SHP, Papua New Guinea. And also, can't breathe, Kumul brothers, and go the Kumuls, one more try, says a pace there. And Papua New Guinea, yes, and Kumuls winning bad weather. That's great, says Joe. Yeah, we'll build the confidence. Like I mentioned, the next game is going to be up against England. That is a tough fixture for anyone to have as a quarterfinal. But if anyone's got the support of a nation behind them to go on and get themselves the massive upset of this Rugby League World Cup, that is Papua New Guinea. The way that the side just seems to have everyone get behind them, it's absolutely incredible, really. And also, but it's not Christmas, says Totally Lemon there. Well, in the video that we have recently, we were dressed as a vampire as well. So we have had both costumes in just a little while on the channel. And also, thanks for the match, Wales, says Landy's in and heap, hurry, says Judy. And thank you, bro, for some of us patrolling rural Papua New Guinea. Get well soon, bro. Kumuls all the way, says Buddy there. And thank you, says Jack Jerry. And the chat as well. And congratulations, Kumuls, all the best in the quarterfinals. Brian from Rainy Lay, says a Brian there. And also go the Kumuls. And thank you, says Jack Jerry. 9 million people behind you, Papua New Guinea, says Eunice. So looking through at the way that now the quarterfinals are going to be set up. As you can see here, Lebanon, they will be taking on the Australians Saturday, 8:30 a.m. New Zealand time. And that is going to be very entertaining game. I believe Australia come in as quite heavy favourites for that matchup. Then the next game. This is the one that I know a lot of people who are on this live stream will be looking forward to. England taking on Papua New Guinea. It is 3:30 a.m. New Zealand time on the Sunday, which works out to be about 12:30 a.m. there in Papua New Guinea. Then also alongside that, on the Sunday, it will be New Zealand versus Fiji. That is at 8:30 a.m. And then on Monday, the quarterfinal 4 will be Tonga versus Samoa. What a game. That's going to set up to be time for work, says Landy's there. Well done, quarterfinal time, boys. Do it for the nation. Papua New Guinea, great commentary, says Kevin. Thank you very much, mate. Another 4 years for Wales, play another league game then. And also coming through and through, commenting from Goroka. Totally lit, says Sebastian. And well done, boys, says Judy. And bro, do you think it was a fair game? I think so. Both sides were playing in the rain, so we can't really blame anything other than the handling errors on the players in the wet conditions. Thank you very much for the commentary. Good stuff, says Yol. And thank you, Kumuls, says Jack. And you're playing against 9 million. Kumuls, go the Kumuls, says Emmanuel. And also we have got that. Thank you, Kiwi. Thank you, Kumuls. Thank you, fellow countrymen and women. And also Catch, says Judas. And thanks, mate, for the coverage. Watching from the last frontier of Papua New Guinea, Inga. And there, and Kiwi, thank you, says Gabby. And thank you, Papua New Guinea, for bringing our country up. And then I should also mention about these games. I believe we're covering at least 2 of them on the channel, including England versus Papua New Guinea, Tonga versus Samoa. The others will depend on overlaps that we have got in the rugby union side of things, but we are definitely covering the next Kumuls fixture, so be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. As you can see, Papua New Guinea, they were on 2 points heading into this game. They now promote themselves up to 4, so they have confirmed their spot Tonga will come in as first in that group. And yeah, it's going to be an absolutely amazing fixture when we see England go head-to-head with Papua New Guinea in the near future. And yes, you're playing against 9 million strongholds. And well done, boys, says Lubby. And thanks to the Kumuls. Let's get more effort into the game against England, especially in the second half. And we are going to go all the way to the grand final. And thank you, Wales, for taking some heat off the cookies, says a cookie there. And so proving, as Papua New Guinea says, expect the unexpected. Kumul fly higher. And like it's been mentioned, England have been beaten by Papua New Guinea in the past, which makes this matchup just a little bit more intriguing. And thanks for the coverage. Appreciate your time. Go the Kumuls, says Colleen. And also we have got, thank you, commentator. You get us going. Thank you. We salute you, boys, says Fernandez. And thank you, commentator from Anna and Judy as well. And yeah, it's been hugely appreciated, all the support you guys have been showing on this live stream. Anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Like I mentioned, we have got plenty more coming up in the future. We are covering the Rugby League World Cup. The Women's World Cup is starting up tomorrow. We are hoping to cover some of the games of that as well, including the Papua New Guinea women's side. So I'm interested to see how they match up compared to some of the other rugby league sides. Thank you, commentator, says Mowgli. And also Wales should stick to rugby union. And of course, big matchup for Wales coming up this weekend in the rugby union up against the All Blacks. And please show us the game. They want to see you talk a lot, says Andy. That's all right, Andy. The game is finished. So I am showing you what pretty much everyone can see at the moment for the game anyway. And also, thanks, Gibby Lath. Much appreciated. Cheers, Kumuls. Keep raising the Papua New Guinea flag, says Two Girls Tailoring. And also, go Papua New Guinea against England, says Jeffrey. The 2 weeks in Egypt for COP just started on a good note. And Simon has said there will definitely be a rematch between Papua New Guinea and Tonga because there was a clear forward and a try which they ignored. And thank you, boys, for making us proud. Go the Kumuls fly high. And also thank you for the coverage. Appreciate your time, says Colleen. Thank you very much for being here. But like I mentioned, a lot more coming up on the channel for Rugby League, Rugby Union, all of the above we are going to be covering in the very near future. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all for the next one.